What is going on, guys? Taylor Stuber with Locks DFS.com, bringing my locks and sleepers for this 10-game NBA slate. Yesterday went not so well. Not much to say. The Lakers and Nuggets game blew out in the middle of the third quarter when we paid up for LeBron James and Nikola Jokic, so that didn't go well, obviously. Noah Vonleh was in serious foul trouble, but Enes Kanter did pretty well. I guess there's one thing to be happy about, but tough night nonetheless. Can't win them all. Obviously, been on an absolute heater the past month or so, so one loss isn't much. That's why I preach having bankroll management, and over the past month, you should be up quite a bit if you're running with Locks DFS. Anyways, so yeah, we got 10 games today. Really like the slate. One of the games that really stands out in this Pelicans and Wizards game. They opened at 241.5. I mean, naturally, they dropped to 240.5 just because that's such an insane game total. We saw this game played just a couple nights ago, really, and it went off as well. Now it's in New Orleans, and I think that's why the game total is up a bit more than it was then. Play a lot faster at home. We look at the pace of both of these teams. Pelicans are third in pace, and the Wizards are sixth in pace. But it's kind of deceiving considering they play a lot faster with Dwight Howard off of the court, which he's going to miss this game yet again for multiple issues, I assume. And Thomas Bryant is going to get, I think he's getting the start just like as a formality. He really only plays the first quarter, and the third quarter he'll play his 7-8 minute stint at the beginning of the first quarter, and then the same stint at the beginning of the second half, and then Markieff Morris and Jeff Green will split the center minutes after that. And when Jeff Green and Markieff Morris are starting or are on the court playing the center position, the game goes way faster. Wizards are way up in pace in those scenarios, and that's what they want to do. That's their strong suit, and it's going to match the Pelicans. Pelicans are have a pretty undersized front court, and so it helps them to have Markieff out there shooting. So that's one of the guys I really like. We played Markieff last time, and he went off. He had almost 40 fantasy points at 4.2K, I believe, on DraftKings. They brought his price up, obviously, to 5.1K, and I hope that scares people off. I'm glad that they rose his price to this because he has been playing a lot better these last 3 games, getting more consistent minutes. This last game against New Orleans, he played 28 minutes, scored, I believe, 33.75 fantasy points. Really like him a lot today with Dwight out again. On FanDuel, they rose his price to 6.5K. I think I paid sub 5K just last game. They rose him a ton. I still don't mind it, really, because I think the spot is that good. I think he's kind of a lock for 30 to 35 fantasy points with upside. He's playing the backup now. He's playing off the bench with Kelly Oubre starting, so his usage goes way up, not playing besides Wall and playing limited minutes next to Bradley Beal. He pretty much runs the second unit, and so that's obviously a good thing for him, averaging 1.05 fantasy points per minute in that scenario. I think you can easily project him for 28 to 32 minutes and even more because last game, albeit an overtime game, he still played 40 minutes. When he's playing well, they're going to keep him out on the court, and obviously it has a lot to do with him being in foul trouble. So if he can avoid foul trouble, I think he can easily play 34-plus minutes. Another player I like that we just played a couple of nights ago, and that is Larry Nance. David Nwaba is going to miss again, and so I expect him to get the start at the 4. Before Nwaba entered, okay, so when Nwaba was in the starting lineup, he would strictly play backup center minutes to Tristan Thompson, wouldn't play the 4 at all. So he would just play the scraps of what Tristan Thompson was leaving. And so that Tristan Thompson's playing 30-plus minutes, so that's not giving him very much time on the court. But the fact that they're starting him at the 4, this is what I'm assuming, because that's what they did last game, and that's why I loved him so much is because if he's in the starting lineup, he's going to get 30-plus minutes, easy to project him for that. Last game, he got 38 minutes. I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting 28, 30, 32 minutes. and he's a 1.15 fantasy point per minute fantasy player. Has a decent matchup. Well, it's like an average matchup against OKC. Pace up spot for them. And pace up spots is really where he thrives. But I really like his price at 5.3K over here on DraftKings. On FanDuel, they rose it to 6K. I don't mind that. Actually, I think I might prefer Larry Nance over Markieff Morris on FanDuel, but more than likely I'm going to be playing both of them. Really like those guys. I expect pretty good games from them. And one last guy I'll briefly touch on is Dennis Schroeder. He's had 2 average games in a row where he's gotten just under 40 fantasy points, and they didn't raise his price because of that, and he's still sitting at 8.4K on DraftKings. It's kind of a no-brainer play for me. I'm going to go back to the well with him. Definitely shouldn't be at this price at all. And then I think the strategy I'm going to go with is I'm going to play a bunch of these mid-range guys and not play Anthony Davis. That's what I'm thinking as of now. I might not go there just because without Dwight Howard on the court, the Wizards are the worst rebounding team in the entire league. So a bunch of boards to go around, especially for a guy like Anthony Davis. But he is priced up to 11.4K. Well, I just saw that Giannis was 12K. Not playing that. But Anthony Davis at 11.4K. Obviously a great play. He's my stud of today. But yeah, as always, hope you guys do well today. Win as much money as you possibly can. And until next video or the live stream tonight, peace.